Okay, so like I said, this review is going to be very different from the usuals because I want to do something a little bit longer and more engrossing and more in detail. And I'm mostly inspired by Undercover Filmer because he does these really long and involving reviews, and I'd like to pay homage to that, but I'd also like to do something a little bit more deep than my usual stuff. So this is going to be quite a different type of review. Very different, in fact. This game really does suck. You're not going to see it at first, but it's going to slowly build to the point where you'll start to grasp why I was tearing my hair out halfway through this game the first time. I'm playing through it again from the start. I'm playing with the keyboard only to basically further illustrate how much this game could piss someone off. I mean, you gotta play with the end key, the delete key, the home key. No computer game to date that I can recall that was any good uses these keys as main functions. Everything else would use like the E key or the F key. I mean, the movement keys are W, A, S, and D, like in most games nowadays that follow the whole, I think Counter-Strike was the first game to really use those kind of controls. But yeah, you're basically using those controls to simulate, regular directions. You're not strafing, you're moving left and right when you hit the A and D keys, which is retarded because you expect it to be strife and not, well, if you play many PC games, and anybody who bought this game knows PC games, because, it's a PC game, obviously. Anyway, it's very easy to get lost in this game because of how they did the graphics. They match the cartoon's look and style, but they're so simplistic that becoming disorientated is only a matter of basic seconds in this game. I'm already lost. I must have played this like 16 times on the console, and I'm still lost with no idea what to do. I simply can't remember the basics of what to do, and then it'll suddenly come back to me when after I'm done wandering around for like 3-4 minutes or so. It doesn't take that long this time around the bend because I know I'm recording footage for a review, so I'm trying to move my ass as quickly as possible. I'm also not going to talk during cutscenes and stuff, or I'm not going to try to unless I get really pissed off, because I want you guys to experience the cutscenes and what this game has to offer in terms of good, and then we could stack on, my usual fuck this, fuck that of bad, and this sucks. But anyway, finally figuring out where to go and what to do. And it'll become high unforgivable later on because you'll be wandering around for so long with no idea what the fuck to do, and you'll have to hit keys, the delete key and the enter key and the space bar to do different things, and it just gets ridiculous. Bomb! Gotta love the canisters that say C4 on them, huh? So here's one of those examples. I was just facing the direction you had to go. He decided to turn around and look at the fucking wall. And the truth is, all you had to do was go right past the cans. Can you see the opening there from where I was standing in the beginning? I certainly couldn't. So we go through more of this in-game stuff. The credits are still scrolling, which means this is still introduction tutorial junk. I mean, even though they throw you into a tutorial that takes like fucking 10 minutes to get past on a normal basis. So wait a minute. Boom! Look at that bitch blow. And again, you don't control anything. I can basically just move the camera left to right by hitting the direction. I guess I wanted to show off the fancy particle engine. Oh, at the time it was fancy. Nowadays, it's special. Oh, and another thing to say, these videos, see the quality you're watching now? These are the quality I saw them on my laptop's monitor, okay? LCD, rather. They are shitty quality videos. Pixelated up the ass. So be happy you're watching these and not the big screen versions. Okay, it's worth noting that the game did crash on me right there. It's also worth noting I'm cutting out loading screens and stuff. So you have no reason to watch them. Delete key. Who the fuck plays a computer game with the delete key?
Mary had a little boy whose neck was in the noose for every David Mary Joker lies of you. If you live through this, you get one more chance. 5 million or Toby takes up now.
See, the production, and I love how she just vanishes without a trace, too. That's just brilliant right there. The production values are top-notch in terms of video, in terms of voice, and in terms of the music you hear throughout the game. But in terms of presentation, it's kind of lax. There's not much detail in anything. I mean, look at the Batmobile. It's like one flat thing they just dropped there. A couple of light sourcing and some very flat, very flat. That's what this game is, flat.
Mary Flynn.
Sure. Is she in some kind of trouble?
It's the Joker, and maybe more. Something about this.
I love
woman
this
doesn't
link.
add up.
I'm gonna work on the
Gonna work
obstacle course.
Run Alfred's training.
I don't want to do voice acting for a video game. That's what it sounded like to me. So now you get to explore the whole span of the 10 feet that is the Batcave. I swear to God, it's no more than 10 foot long. Like, look at this. That's the whole outside of the Batcave. The one computer terminal, and that's it. And the rest is just a rail and, well, the cave, obviously. And my hands are already starting to cramp.
Good evening.
Here's another good one. They didn't. I guess they didn't want to make his model for the game, so they just figured they would,
I took the liberty of
you know, come up with this
recording one of our
recorded training session nonsense.
Trust you will find it useful. We'll begin with a bit of
Now you get to see where
background
this game made me tear my hair out.
If you'll be so kind as to activate the grapple.
When the grapple icon next to your health bar links, it means you are able to grapple. Activate grapple, enter first person mode by pressing and holding space key. Freeze the game and change weapons. In first person, to change weapons, press number keys related to the different weapons or use A and D to cycle through our tour gadgets while holding the space key. To exit first person mode, press the space bar. The space key. Did you get all that? I certainly didn't. You gotta hit space bar to enter this mode. You've gotta hold space bar to move it around. Or you could use your mouse. They don't really tell you that. I had to figure that out on my own. It's still way too
Very
sensitive.
good, sir. Once the grapple is aimed, it is
You cannot move and aim at the same time.
When the court, I'd strongly suggest.
Okay? This is ridiculous. I'm on a computer. I want normal first-person shooter controls, not this crap. And look how sensitive it is. It's like, and I lowered it, no less, and it's still sensitive as fuck. So yeah, I'm gonna start skipping what he says because I don't want to hear this crap over and over again.
Well done. A little
Man, Alfred, shut the fuck up! God almighty. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. My name is Alfred. I never shut the fuck up.
Very good, sir.
Very good, sir. You may want to use your brain and deactivate this game before it destroys you.
Good show, Master Bruce. We'll move right along now to
mean,
the use
just-
of the Batarang.
They're giving you tutorials on crap you can figure out on your own. He says with a little practice you can learn to strafe around enemies while throwing this stuff. You can't strafe and move at the same time in this fucking game. It's ridiculous. You have to aim at everything manually and just kind of sit there. And this is fine when you're fighting against a metal fucking post, but when you're fighting against real game enemies, this doesn't work. And I wasn't even aiming for the damn thing and I hit it.
Perhaps now we should brush up on.
And now you get to beat the crap out of a metal pole.
So often the only common language.
There is no reason to have to sit through any of this tutorial bullshit because the AI in the game gives you no challenge whatsoever.
Some of your opponents
In fact, I'd have to say the metal pole gave me more of a challenge than most of the enemies in the game. If the game isn't going into glitch mode and something isn't going wrong. You'll see what I'm talking about later on.
as wide a variety of martial arts as you.
Alfred, would you shut the fuck up?
There's only so much you
God, you think he wants to suck his dick after a while? I know he's his butler, but Jesus Christ. Now you get to fight the metal pole. And I go into activating mode for no fucking reason, because this game sucks and the controls are broken. You see me trying to do like combos and stuff throughout my various adventures in this game. You'll see me trying to do combos and how much they fail miserably. Nicely done,
Nicely
Master
done,
Bruce.
Master Bruce. But
Not
fighting
always
is
the
not
healthiest
always
option.
sacrificial.
Now we get to play Solid
You
Snake.
well know.
We get to learn about the broken, and I mean broken, stealth mechanism in this game.
Let's try a small test.
Best is like they don't even show you what door it is. You just gotta try to guess. And one time when I went through the wrong one, I had to do all this shit all over again. It would just reset itself for no reason. You can actually jump past this laser if you want to get to the other side without doing this. Perfect example of how well this game was worked on. I wish I had video footage of that just to make people laugh. But yeah, take 90 fucking years to climb the wall to do this when it doesn't matter because everything in the game knows you're there. They get behind a wall, they'll know you're there.
Very good, sir. We'll move on
Here's
to
more
one
insanity.
final training sequence.
Or
This one
stupidity.
will affect your freefall.
The challenge is to use your
Shut
senses
the
to slow
fuck
or
up!
speed your fall as necessary. Trust yourself
God
to
damn, I thought I skipped this
before you
shit.
reach bottom.
Ugh, I have to sit through it again? That makes it even worse. At least you're only experiencing it for the first time. If this is the first time you're watching this, or the first time you've played this game, or seen this game, or, you know, whatever the case may be. Note the grapple icon appears every time there's somewhere to grapple, but you hardly ever notice it because you're trying to keep your attention on the screen, not this blinking light on top of your screen. I mean, you're supposed to, but you know what happens? Shit happens. You miss things. Okay, basically, all you gotta do is ram into this object at high speed, and you catch it. They make it a little tricky later on, but it's really not that hard to do. It's very basic stuff here. So now we're finally done with the friggin' tutorials.
You've done splendidly, Master Bruce. You never cease to amaze. I pity the criminal who comes between you.
I pity
and
the
justice.
programmer who made this game.
If you need any more,
And I pity them if I ever find them. Why was the console version so great and this version so shitty? What the fuck happens when they port a game to PC? Do they say, let's half-ass it?
Find anything?
Just questions with no answers.
Try me.
Well, Toby was reported kidnapped to the police 4 days ago. Before that, nothing. Didn't go to school. Wasn't even born. Same goes for Mary. I've got an address on the apartment she just moved into, and that's it.
That's impossible. Nothing else at all?
Not a thing. I don't know if you can save these people, Batman. They're already ghosts.
Drama! Just kidding. Alright, I just want to say one thing. The reason I play this game still is for the voice acting. Because it's fantastically done. Most times. Especially Mark Hamill as a Joker. But it's insanely low at times, so you can't hear the voices. That's why it's subtitled on the bottom. Nice sexual reference here for anyone over the age of 15.
My audience who waits. After that, we're home free. Our friend in tight takes the bait, takes a dive, and then we string him up and drop him in the tree.
I really don't actually understand the point of this cutscene, aside from the fact I have people do voice acting. It's just one bad joke after another.
A couple of guys and I were thinking that since we're fighting the bat and all that, maybe we're not getting paid as much as we should.
I think Harley's hot.
Working for the Penguin, we were getting benefits in a 401k.
I mean, they did this all to make a benefits and 401k joke.
Well, now you're working for Mr.
Doesn't make much
James
sense.
He'll do what he says and take what he gives and hope it is not a bullet.
But again, the delivery of these two characters is fantastic.
Baby, you're the best.
But as you're gonna see, that had nothing to do with what comes up next. Like, at all. Zero, zilch, nada, zip. Even when you know the plot of the game, it had nothing to do with the game. It was just there to fill time, I think. Because like I said, this game is incredibly short. See, no matter what you do, no matter where you go, there's no way to hide. But watch how fast you can kick the enemy's asses in this game. It's ridiculous. Some challenge that was. Yeah, Batman kicked his ass. Note the camera here again. Now, I mentioned before there are two ways to do the camera. One is to run around in a big fucking circle. The other one is to go into first-person view mode by hitting the spacebar, look around in it, position yourself, press out of it, and then you set your camera in a different direction. Do you know how rudimentary and ass backwards this is? I mean, come on. It's not like this game is that fucking old. Fuck was it made? It was made in 2002. By then they should have fixed most of these camera issues that plagued the friggin' Generation 1 PlayStation games, or even some older PC games. Every time you go into this view, it's just slow and static. Everything you do feels stunted and, like, boring. Fantastic sound design marked by the shitty gun sound effects, and I swear to God there is no way to get to a villain without him shooting at you, unless you disarm them first, by entering first-person view, throwing a batarang, or trying to throw a batarang with these broken fucking controls. So, once again, we have this whole disorienting feel of, like, everything looking exactly the same. And then we have stuff like this. Like, this just makes me shake my head and go, what the fuck were they thinking? They put the life all the way down at the end. After the first fight, like you're really gonna get your ass kicked that bad. I pity the fool who plays this game and gets his ass kicked on that one fight. And it's like it, that's all there was down there. So now you gotta do this. And instead of making it like a flat plane, they decided to make it like these little humpy little platforming areas you can barely see because of the grated metal between and the way the textures combine. I mean, it's just choices like this that are so stupid. But it's gonna get worse. Oh, it's gonna get worse. I love how Batman just stands and watches everything, too. You'll see it throughout this game. He just fucking stands there. No, don't jump over there or do anything. Watch them grab the girl! Way to go, Bruce! Real superhero you are. Just waiting, like standing there like a complete jackass. Nah, it's the game's fucking way of saying, we want you to do it. And now we have a really cool song that once it repeats over 3 or 4 times, it'll give you the biggest migraine in history. And again, these shitty controls are like fucking up an easy procedure that should take less than a millisecond. Now watch this. I'll demonstrate how stupid the AI really is. Now the other guy found me last time. He went right behind the wall and knew exactly where I was going. How come this guy didn't know where I was 2 feet from behind him? Now he's magically somehow gotten all the way over there. Let's kick his ass. You know, using the 3 fucking attacks in this entire game. Wasting handcuffs on basic enemies, which was a mistake, I've got to say. Keep in mind this line right here. Okay, it's going to come back to haunt you later on. So now you're, again, this disorienting feel, like, what was I doing 5 seconds ago? I honestly didn't remember, believe it or not. Now, some of you might be sitting there going, oh, fuck you, you remember what to do. I honestly didn't remember what the fuck to do. I'm not making this up, I got lost. I figure out what to do eventually, because, you know, it's the back grapple icon is there, so eventually, you know, I'll shoot it at something. It's actually kind of useful. They give you this little green indicator on there that points out where it is, but sometimes it just doesn't work because the icon doesn't appear. Okay, now I open that door, so I figure, okay, let's open this door. I guess it's just a flat door. Okay, fuck it. It's not the door, so let's move on. So, I'm looking for the bat thing. I don't see nothing. Nothing. I'll scale the wall! That doesn't work either. Oh, maybe it's this one! Can't even get up on top of it. Can I try, like, what, 4 times? 3. Let's try over here. Anything over here? No, just the same solid fucking textured backgrounds. One thing I really like is that the sky is, like, blood red like it was in the animated series. That always looks so fucking badass. Alright, so where the fuck is it? Where the fuck are we supposed to go? What are we supposed to do? This obviously doesn't open. Oh, wait, there's something I didn't think about. There's something I didn't consider. Even though, you know, that is a static, flat object that will not open or close. What about this one? Oh, look at that! It opened! Okay, so we're finally through the friggin' door. Now we get to experience more door pleasure, fun, excitement, craptastic graphics. I mean, they just look like flat objects. And I don't know who said the door was glowing in the previous comment, but the door was not glowing in the previous review. It just was a different shade of gray. Anyway, this is pretty self-evident what you're supposed to do here. It's not like you can get lost. Of course, look how the camera wanted to turn away from where the enemy is. So now I'm just getting shot from a random location. And I'm taking too many hits from something that should have been eliminated in like 3 seconds. And so the AI is kind of giving me a bit of a challenge here, but that's kind of because I'm not playing exactly, I'm not playing to the extreme here, since this game does piss me off on a consistent basis, the PC version anyway. But yeah, I'm trying to get the camera just to align right so the icon appears, because if you don't do this, that icon will not show up, and you'll be stuck on this rooftop for all eternity trying to figure out what to do with this music playing in the background. Okay, this is one of those moments that just defines that this game sucks. Pressing the backspace key twice, the camera will return to its default position behind the back. This means you gotta tap spacebar twice to reposition the camera. And if you want to move it, you can do that too, like I was explaining before. The game is basically just described, our controls suck. Deal with it. Okay, this is bullshit. You shouldn't have to put up with this, especially when it's supposed to be some fast-paced chase sequence. Alright. This isn't that hard to do, but the timing is incredibly ridiculous because if you do not jump and then tap exactly afterwards, you ain't gonna land that. You'll see what I'm talking about coming up. But yeah, you getting vertigo yet? Because, I mean, like, you're going really high up and you're walking on these little platforms and Batman just wants to run everywhere! Oh, I forgot to mention, the only way to walk in this game is to punch and hold it in, and then you can walk. You might have seen me doing it in the first part of this review. In the beginning, I was just putzing around with the controls. Okay, there's a funny thing about this sequence here. At times, if you jump a certain way onto this ledge, this cutscene will not trigger, and you'll have no idea what to do. Now, I just fucked up. This is kind of my fault, but I'm rushing because I want to get with the game, and I think I'm supposed to just jump off. You're not supposed to do that, obviously. Now, look at my hand spasming. You can't even keep the damn thing on it because the fucking controls are so sensitive. Okay, so let's do this again. Yeah, every time you die at this point, you have to repeat this process. Lots of fun this is. Alright, now here's what I was talking about seeing you behind a wall. They can see you no matter where the fuck you go. He just knew I was there. And he managed to get his 3 pot shots in, like always. Kick his fucking ass. I said kick his ass! Thank you. Okay. So, we go through the procedure, we back up this asshole, and now we've got to navigate these platforms again. Now, I did this on purpose to show you how nauseating this really is. The colors all look the same, and you barely have any idea where you're going at times. But this is where it starts to really fall apart, and this is just the beginning of the nightmare to come. Let me tell you, it gets a lot worse. So yeah, you gotta do these stupid jumps, you gotta reposition the camera, and you'll notice later on I just get completely fucking fed up and I start just doing it, just jumping without looking. Alright, this is what I was talking about with the fucking... See, I hit it right when I jumped, but it didn't open until afterwards. So, of course, now I'm bat roadkill, and you have to go back and do it again! Who the fuck wants to keep repeating this shit over and over again? Now here's an example of clipping errors that cause this game to just destroy me, literally. I must have done this 60 times. If you're even off by an inch, you're dead! And yes, that's a blatant homage to Super Nintendo Guy's Batman review that was recently uploaded. If you want to laugh at some seriously good humor from a different angle, go watch that. It's ironic that more than one Batman game are being reviewed and they all kind of stink. Anyway, we're going to do this again, and I am sure as hell not going to fuck this one up, because now I've got a headache. This music is officially just giving me a migraine beyond, like the size of Kansas in my brain. Okay, so now I've become disoriented once again. It happens to me all the time in this game. Oh, look at how the camera just decided to point down at the bluest, flattest plane you've ever seen. Okay, so now we launch back up, we repeat the same fucking process we just did. Alright, now here's a good hint to remember. You don't have to fight the enemies in this game to get anywhere. You can simply just leap past them. Alright, now the biggest vertigo-inducing moment in this level is coming up. You know how this game controls, right? They want you to run across this thing and make this jump. Now, you'll notice my little filter effect coming up here to add to this. Yeah! Can you make it? Of course you're gonna make it. I don't suck. I made it the first time. Yeah, but the first time I played this game, I must have missed that like 40 times, and then there were points where I couldn't even figure it out. Every time you see the CD, by the way, that means it's saving your progress, so you don't have to repeat the same thing over and over again. They were nice enough to figure, okay, they're not going to want to do that stupid platform jumping thing again if they should lose this next part. How the fuck you could lose this next part, I'll never know, unless you jump at the wrong second here. See, I almost missed it? It's possible to lose right there and have to go back. What's funny is it'll restart you 2 feet away from where you originally were, and you'll have to redo it until you make it.
This isn't what you think, Batman.
Yes, I am the low-cost voice actor. And now we get to beat up another henchman who serves as a boss, I guess. He's got a big-ass life bar, but he's really no challenge whatsoever. Note how stupid the AI is, too. You can, like, completely leap over them, and they won't do anything. You could literally just jump around all day, and they can't do shit. But yeah, you might as well just take the hits, because it doesn't even matter. Whether they block or attack, you're still going to beat them eventually. There's very few bosses in this game that pose any kind of challenge. I mean, how long did this take? And now we have more cutscenes. And if you don't know what is going on by now by the voice, listen closely.
He took my...
Toby?
Yes, Toby, my son. He took my son. He says he'll kill him unless I can pay him $5 million. I don't have that kind of money.
Are you sure he has the boy?
Overacting!
He sent me this. Said if I didn't believe him, he would send... Oh.
I thought Batman just shoved a pocket knife right in his belt.
Press the button if you're ever in trouble.
And he vanished before his voice acting was even done. Wow, Batman's just such a cool cat, isn't he? Now seriously, he just took that knife and he shoved it between his belt and his whatever the fuck
No
his
way,
torso
that's
shirt thing is
insane.
called.
Joker's insane.
He cut himself.
Not stupid. He must know something about Mary we don't.
Oh god,
So
the
what do we do?
bridge.
We play along until we get to the bottom of this.
Beep,
The transmitter you gave Mary last night. It's coming from Gotham Bridge.
Right.
Right. Now, I don't know how he got to Gotham Bridge. I guess he walked because he never even looked at the car that entire time. Okay, now we're going to enter a scene that, you know, it's going to seem like the same thing as before, but you're going to start to see where this game really falls apart in terms of direction. Oh, note that it just got darker and the visuals went down. This is because the game crashed again, and it resets everything you did. Look how much darker it is this time around the bend than before. I'll change this in a moment, after I kill generic enemy number 5 over here. Yeah! Ha! Yeah! Ha! I'll kick you to death. Yeah, Batman's such a badass. All he does is 3 different attacks. He punches and he kicks. I thought he was a master of martial arts. What the hell happened? Now, this is my fault, because it's so dark. I mean, you may be able to see it, but I could barely see where I was going, and I didn't want to change it because I didn't want to interrupt the video feed, but I got so tired of it, I said fuck it, and I decided just to change it anyway. It's coming up. Yeah, here it is. This is what the menu looks like, by the way, for the game. Now, watch the brightness when I even tap it. Like, it just flew up. Isn't that fucked up? Like, I mean, like, you even tap the brightness control, and it jumps. Like, it goes, like, 40% up compared to where it was, when I barely even smidged the bar. Okay, so here's more of that crappy camera. I mean, now you're facing backwards, and again, you gotta change it by going to first-person mode. This is friggin' annoying. And now you're not dealing with one enemy, you're dealing with multiple enemies. Anybody ever played the game Breakdown, they might know the experience coming up here. Now, I barely looked across, and he wasn't even in my line of sight. How the fuck did he see me? More so, how did a shotgun do such little damage? The pistols do more damage. Now you gotta deal with these 2 assholes at the same time. Watch the camera just fly all over the friggin' place in this fight. It's ridiculous. And there's no way to target a specific enemy, so you just gotta, like, randomly beat the crap out of one and avoid the other's pot shots. Yeah, beautiful camera work here. Yeah. This cameraman is so fucking fired when I'm done with this review. Okay, so now I've taken care... I can't even handcuff him due to the horrible detection. Again, another reason not to play this game. Oh, if you hear that beeping noise consistently, it's really... It sounds kind of eerie-ish, aside from the wind noise and the lack of music here. I have no idea how to get that item. I refuse to use a walkthrough, too, so I'm not gonna, you know, just figure out how to do it like that. Okay, now... Tell me if you can figure out where to go. I've played this many times, and it should be, you know, it would seem pretty obvious to someone who's played it. But if you haven't played this, you'll have no clue. Now, your first hint was that that thing was jammed in the corner there, but you're not thinking because, you know, up until this point, you've done the same rudimentary things over and over again. You've jumped off things, you've punched enemies, and you've used the back grapple, and maybe a batarang or two once or twice. Aside from that, you have not used any of Batman's other techniques or things. Why am I saying this? You'll see soon enough. After I wander around long enough to give you enough of a headache of this game, the camera, the controls, and this repetitive wind sound and that boop, 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 boop noise you keep hearing. There's nothing here. It's just dead sound. And you're gonna laugh your ass off when you see what the fuck you have to do for this point. But I want people to actually experience what I went through. This is what a newbie's gonna go through if they're not using a walkthrough because it's not obvious as to what you're supposed to fucking do. He'll try everything. You'll blow shit up. You'll jump from build. You'll jump on top of canisters. Anything you could think of, you could try. Ain't gonna work. There's only one solution to this, and it's really fucking stupid. And it doesn't even work sometimes, so that makes it even worse. Like, you think, oh, that didn't work, so I'll try something else. No, that was what you were supposed to do, but it didn't work. Why? Because of terrible controls and detection. See, when you do hit detection in a game, you're supposed to make it as small as possible so that when you're in that radius to do it, it goes through. Not this big friggin' box that most people use, and not these tiny, tiny, smidgy little cracks.
Call me the minute you find out anything about Mary. I don't want to walk into this blind.
I'll try, but I don't know if there's anything to find.
Hey, there's nothing to find. You're so useful, Batgirl. You're so useful. Alright, let me show you what the fuck you're supposed to do. This is ridiculous. I mean, It might seem a little obvious, but to most, it's not, and I'm not the kind of gamer who's just gonna catch this immediately. Maybe I'm a little slower than most, I don't know, but this is just fucking annoying. That's it! That's all you had to fucking do!
Then, my dear, you're about $5 million short of motherhood.
Now watch how Batman just stands there. Just watch. And like nobody notices him. And all of a sudden, just standing there like a dick. Now you get to fight more generic goons / henchmen. I love how it saves right at the beginning of a fight too, so you'll have to like repeat this over and over again if you lose. Who the fuck is gonna lose this pathetically easy fight? I can't handcuff him because I'm out of handcuffs, so let's try to figure out where to go as fast as possible, because they do get up. If you don't handcuff them, they'll get back up and they'll start fighting again. They're just way weaker, so it's like, you gotta waste your time again. So now I'm completely befuddled from the first part, but I know I've got to do something, so let's do this. Now the game starts to pick up speed again, so it's not like what it was before. Now it feels like, you know, the old school platformers, which is kind of cool, I gotta admit. So like I said, it's not the worst game in the world, but it has its share of issues. Demonstrated here, for example. I told you about this Batarang bullshit. Watch and learn. Just watch. Watch the hilarity of knocking half his life bar up before he even reaches me. Because every time you hit somebody with a Batarang, they pause for like a millisecond, so it's impossible. Like, you could just keep whanging the thing at the guy. They always get a cheap shot in, for some reason. Unless you can, like, immediately launch at them. It's also problematic that, for whatever reason, when you punch and do something else, he'll sometimes jump at this point. If you jump backwards, you can kill yourself at this point. You'll have to repeat the whole fight you just did and everything you just did all over again. Like, see? Like that. Thank God I know what the fuck I'm doing to some degree. Okay, so, more generic fighting of, you know, the 3-button kind here. Maybe this would have been cooler as a 2D game, I don't know. I mean, I played the Game Boy Advance version of Batman Vengeance. It wasn't bad. Okay, we go up another ladder. Go up another ladder. Now we've reached a real boss. Or what this game claims is a boss. Again, it's, you know, you get the flat visuals, the flat Everything about this game is so fucking flat at times. Couldn't they fix the texture so that the bat on his costume looked at least texture-wise not blurred up? Okay, now you get to see why this first-person view is a complete fucking failure. And why this game fails to even entertain me slightly at times. Because really, you don't do boss fights like this, okay? This is stupid. Now, I'm on top of this little vertigo oh no, I hit him from like 80 feet away. I'm on top of this vertigo-inducing, like, tower thing, and I got him coming at me in a friggin' wrecking ball, and I have to stay in first-person view and aim directly up so that I hit him. Now, you can very easily walk off this level. I've done it several times. I don't think I got him on video because that was before when I crashed, but yeah, it's easy to fuck up. Note how my Batarang just completely passes through the friggin' tower as well. Wonderful hit detection. Again, fantastic music though. Really fits the scenario. See that? Had I gone 3 millimeters to the left, I would have fallen directly off and had to redo this whole fucking thing over again. It's annoying, believe me when I say this. Okay, so we know what the fuck we have to do. What else comes? Absolutely nothing. You just repeat this over and over again. So it's not really a boss fight, it's just a lame hide behind the towers and, you know, throw shit at someone. If you can hit them! And I say if, because you gotta really know what you're doing. See how much the level's left now? You gotta stay in first-person view, basically, the entire time, and you gotta make sure you don't fall the fuck off the level. Meanwhile, he alternates from that tower to this tower, and it's just so... Like, what the fuck? And now I magically failed to hit him. Someone wanna explain this one? The only cool thing is that he takes out the lights, they sound really cool when they break. Like right now. I mean, that sounded realistic enough for my tastes. I don't know. It's just, it falls apart. It's not interesting or unique in the slightest to me. This is like a lame Super Nintendo villain all over again on like the older games. Okay, so now we beat the friggin' Joker in his own game. Somehow.
Toby or not Toby? That is the question.
Where'd the ball go?
The Joker will save the boy. Aye, there's the rub.
I'd have to assume Batman cut it with the Batarang. Why didn't they show that? You could show this stuff. Yes, save Toby! Fly, Batman, fly, for great justice. Now, like a jackass, you'll hit that every fucking time because of the way that it's just done and you fly at things. Yay! We saved Toby! So yeah, we saved Toby. Big fucking whoop. The plot twist coming up should be pretty obvious to those paying attention. To those who weren't, well, here it comes. In the longest, most delayed cutscene of all time. Like, you can literally just hear the wind blowing past these characters as no dialogue is said and no music is played. Not a fucking sound.
Oh, Batman, you saved my little booby trap. I don't know how I could ever...
And the camera just passes right through her.
Blind as your namesake, do-gooder moron.
Yes, Mary was Harley Quinn.
Say goodnight, Batsy.
Hooray for drama.
Careful, Harley. You'll kill him. But
Alright, this pretty much fits
my henchman.
with the animated series and the comics.
Less wench.
The Joker would never allow Harley Quinn to kill Batman. If you've seen the episode of the animated series Mad Love, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If not, go watch it. So now we have another really boring, piss-bad boss fight that has one of the most broken mechanics of all time. Do I even need to comment on this crap anymore? All you do is kick and punch consistently. That's all you do. Punch, kick, it's all in the mind. You know, I feel like I'm playing Parappa the Rapper sometimes with these fucking games, with these fights that just keep going and going and going, and it's just the same fucking thing over and over and over again, and I'm trying to stay calm, but this really pisses me off. For more than one reason, I might add. I'm not gonna give it away now, but it's pretty fucking bad. This is bullshit. This goes against all the principles of these two characters. She would have jumped in and helped him in a heartbeat because she loves him and always wants to earn his respect. And she can't do it because the Joker only loves himself. They've addressed this a million times. The difference between her and him is she forces him to kind of see a part of himself he doesn't want to see. The fact that he might care about someone else aside from himself and, you know, his sick obsession with Batman. Alright, here it is. This is the most broken video game control mechanic I have ever seen in the history of fucking gaming. There is no way, no fucking way to break this. I tried everything. So now I plug in my fucking gamepad. As somebody requested that I should play with the gamepad because my complaints are unmerited. If I play with a gamepad, it would get so much better. It doesn't. And you owe me a new gamepad. I'll tell you why in a minute. So now Batman dances around the Joker, and the Joker kicked his ass with the dirtiest tricks in the book. You have to stay uber close in this fight. You can't move away once. You gotta watch the same fucking cutscene because the gamepad is less responsive than my fucking keyboard was. Shut the fuck up and get back to the fucking fight. That Harley won't kill for you, won't kill without you. I know it by heart. Come on, Batman, kick his fucking ass. God damn. When did the Joker become such a punching machine? Or such a combat machine, anyway? So, I'm trying to stay so dangerously close so that stupidity from before doesn't occur. Doesn't seem to be going very far, does it?
You're not helping,
More bullshit that goes against the principles of the show.
Send me a postcard from Arkham.
She would not just sit there. It's complete bullshit. It's funny, I'll admit, and different, but it goes against the principles I grew up on with this shit. So here it is again. Now I'm officially shaking the gamepad, pushing every button, jamming the analog left and right, doing everything. You'd think I was going to war with my gamepad. I'm cursing and I'm screaming, you motherfucker! It didn't work. And now I'm starting to notice my gamepad is like making a noise when I move it slightly. So now I do it again. I'm still on the gamepad. I'm still getting my ass handed to me. Every other fucking fight in this game is piss easy. This one is not, for unknown fucking reasons. And on the console, it's easy as shit. Because at least on the console, you have responsive fucking controls. The person who wrote the control mechanism for this game was obviously asleep in a porta potty somewhere when they did it. Christ. Come on, kick his ass already, man. Jesus fucking H. Christ. So again, I'm staying dangerously close because I want to try to avoid that stupid thing. Here we go again. I'm officially at my wit's fucking end with this part, and I swear to God, I broke my fucking gamepad in the process. Just broke it. The analog does not work anymore. So now I have no more gamepad, so I'm back on the fucking keyboard. So any advantage that might have given me, which I didn't see, is completely fucking gone. So thanks again to the person who commented that I should use the gamepad, especially knowing how frustrated I get with games when I can't win in them, and it pisses me off and you gotta repeat the same shit over and over again. Alright, I'm kind of exaggerating a little. I don't really give a flying fuck about the gamepad. But this is fucking ridiculous. Here it is again! I'm literally slamming every key on the keyboard in unison at this point. With both my fucking hands, nothing is happening. There is no way to fucking break this with the keyboard. So you have to try to avoid it altogether. Shut the fuck up and finish it so I can kick your ass already. Jesus Christ. So here we go. Again! And I'm getting really fucking tired of this sequence. Now you're starting to see why I said I tore my hair out with this fucking game. Or at least the port of it. You want to play this game? Play it on the Xbox, PS2, or GameCube. Do not play this version. It's nothing but a nightmare and headache. Same cutscenes. Same stuff. I literally, when I ran away, I was so praying to God that he wouldn't do it. And now I'm getting fucking tired. I'm literally just fed up to no end with this fucking game. And it's just repeating the same junk all over again, and I've had enough. Joker is having his ass handed to him. I will break my foot off, my back foot off, and I will shove it up his little clown ass. Whew. Anyway. Finally, after all that, I finally reach a conclusion. It's a nice, satisfying little bit, if short. None of this is done by me. This is pre-done in any version of the game. Jump, jump, jump. Yeah! Eat that, you fucking clown bitch! Now we have more cutscenes. Which totally fit the series. So, they kept with the series, they broke away from it, and then they went back to it again. Because the Joker always has the last laugh. It's his way. He has some sick relationship with Batman, though. Read the comics. Read The Killing Joke, if you really want to see how twisted it really is.
You're slipping, Joker.
Come on, fall, you fuck. Took me 30 minutes to beat your ass. Let's go. Fall. Die. I saw this coming a mile away. Knowing his character, so this comes as no surprise. And knowing his character, I know that he's not really dead and he'll come back sooner or later. Oops! Spoiler! So, after all that bullshit, you have to do this. And I make this shit look easy. It ain't. You gotta fly down past these fucking things, and I'm telling you right now, on the console, this is somehow magically harder. You have to, like, stop above her and then ram her, and you have approximately, what, 10 seconds to do it? Maybe less. I don't even know how long that. What was that? 6 seconds? Do you know they count this shit as levels? Yep. Signs of a really great game.
Murderer. No, leave me alone. I'm through. No more
love. No more crime. No more nothing. I'm through. Shut the fuck up, you whiny bitch. You know he's not dead! Well, maybe she does. I don't fucking remember, to be honest. And he just stands there like a dick!